Hey, you want efficiency in building your credit? How about buying a car? Next here on AutoGab. Hey, Brandon here for AutoGab. I want to talk to you about building your finance and buying a car. And some people know this and some people don't, but actually buying a car is probably the most efficient way, aside from everything else, probably the most efficient way to build your credit than anything. It's even more efficient than buying a house. Believe it or not, it is. You can leave the country with a car. I've heard them say that actually before, that you can leave a country with a car, but you can't leave the country with a house. You buy a house, it's going to be where it's at. You can't really steal a house, you know. So, and I know that's not the only reason why, but there's specific reasons why actually buying a car is a more efficient way of building your credit than buying a house or using credit cards or whatever. A lot of people try to build credit by using credit cards, and you can build your credit. You can build your credit score up with credit cards, but when people are looking at your credit as a whole, I've actually heard a manager say this when they were selling somebody a car. They said, "Oh, they just built their credit with credit cards, so it was like a bad thing because they wasn't going to sell them, as efficiently as they wanted to be sold, finance them rather as efficiently as they wanted to be financed because they had just built their credit with credit cards." Because people got this, this way of building credit when they use their credit cards a specific way to build up their credit score, and people know that now. But the thing about it is when you buy a car and you keep up the payments consistently, always keep up those payments, that solidifies your credit, and it may take a few months to do it, but maybe you're going after a specific car that you want and you need to start it somewhere, buying maybe a car that you don't necessarily want, but you want to build your credit so you can get the car that you want. It's a good way to do it, buy a lesser expensive car, or maybe not necessarily the car that you want, and build your credit so that you can buy the car that you want. And that's just the way it works. And I know a lot of people are really dead set against even using credit. It says pay cash for everything, but I actually knew a guy once who paid cash for everything, a very prestigious guy, and he had no credit, and he wanted to finance something to build his credit, and he couldn't even. It was hard for him to finance something because he didn't have the credit to finance because he paid cash for everything. So it's a double standard. You need to be solid on both ends. It's a good idea. It's a good idea to have good financing, or good credit for financing, so that you can if you're in a spot, you can do what you need to do, or whatever for whatever the good reason is. Anyways, there's an article next to me on the website, or it's below me on social media. If you're on YouTube, you can read the rest of the article if you click on and go to the article on YouTube, and gives really good insight about why it's so efficient to build your credit by buying a car as opposed to everything else. And I know you need a good plethora, or just different ways to build your credit anyways, but probably the most solid way, or the most efficient way, is actually buying a car. A lot of people don't know this, but it is probably the most efficient way to build your credit, is buying a car and keeping up the payments. And check out the article, like I said, next to me on the website, or maybe below me if you're on social media or whatever. And this is Brandon for AutoGab, and y'all have a great day.